What is up guys, Rex here with a new video, and today with the first look at Mystic Fairy Freya. She's finally been released into the game with today's reset, and we're gonna look at the skills, we're gonna look at some gameplay, have a first look into her skills in PvP, then go for a bit of Flame Shrine probably. Left that open so we can test it there a bit, see a bit more of the layers. And then I will end the video and I will make a few more videos later after I've gone in depth with the testing, see which mechanics work like this. All takes a bit of time and I didn't want to leave you guys in the dark yet. If she's a good hero, I know some of you guys are waiting to see if she's great, if she's worth building, or if you better go for another hero, and that's of course a question we want to answer in this video. Short answer at the beginning, I think she's worth building. I really like her. So, maybe let's start with the skills. We had a few things when we looked at the previews that were like, when they do this might be a problem and stuff. And one of the main points of this were the layers. And one thing I really like, they went for 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layer, as opposed to what I feared might be 1, 3, 5 layers. So basically every time she does an active, she activates the next layer, and those layers are quite strong. Especially the first one, I really like the first one. It says, increases all allies' damage reduction by 40%, which is a huge chunk, and control immunity by 25% for 2 rounds. So basically your heroes get super tanky and are largely not immune to CC, but way less likely to get controlled. This buff, of course, is rather short. I thought her being shown as the sustain hero, that her buffs would last a bit longer, but like 2 rounds, that is more like the area of a burst team maybe, where you would expect like 2 round buffs. For a sustain team, just takes longer. So that was something that confused me a bit. Nonetheless, I used her in the SFX burst team, in the regular SFX burst team with like 2 rogues, Drake, Vesser and Espen, and SFX as main damage dealer. And she excelled there and I really liked it. We can see some gameplay right after this. Fight a few enemies. The damage reduction by 40% helped a lot when you are using snow hearts on a lot of your heroes, because this doesn't really give them a lot of damage reduce, and you can fix this with just the first layer of from Mystic Fairy Freya, and you can activate it just by putting her in the team and putting a snow heart on her, so she does her active on turn 1, which is really great. But also the second layer, like you have come into a bit of a peril, the enemy has hit you a few times, you haven't quite managed to get him down with the SFX burst team, and your Mystic Fairy Freya does another attack, and suddenly all your heroes have a giant shield, which is, it's really not a small shield. Oh, now I clicked it away, don't want that. It's really not a small shield, 2400% attack. I said like, it has to be at least 1000%. They went for a lot more, which is great, it's really a decent shield you get. And also, the skill is quite well made. It's like, first you get the attack buff and afterwards the shield buff that is based on the attack. So this part is also quite nice. And then we come into the third layer, and this one is hard to notice in PvP, honestly. I mean, you have to do 3 layers, and this means like 6 plus rounds, 7, 8, maybe if you don't run an energy feed team, and I haven't quite tested her yet in an energy feed team. So for the most fights, this last part didn't have any effect. What is especially nice is this one though. Every time an ally releases basic or active skill, they get all damage reduction plus 10% and 10% attack. Doesn't seem like much, but as I said, if you run a burst team and you have snow hearts and you get this extra damage reduction from a layer and from this passive, suddenly your heroes are a lot more tanky and a lot less likely to get burned down by like a Star Devourer EOS or something. So great basic here, passive. And the basic is, in my opinion, a little bit better than I thought. Still rather weak. We hit like 3 random enemies. A little bit of poison that doesn't matter too much. I saw like 1 decent poison dot. That was quite nice. And the heal, of course, heal is always nice, but it's like 20% of max HP. If it was scale of the damage, it would be nicer, as I said before, so nothing really too special here. And yeah, the active is alright. She does good amount of damage. Haven't quite noticed the removal of the attribute buffs yet. I think with a lot of her kit, it's like hard to see what she actually does. I mean, you have these attribute buffs and they are on the hero and little tokens, and I think it's more about how your team performs with or without her. So, do you notice that your team is more tanky if you use her? And that's like the approach I've taken yet. But removing attribute buffs, it's really hard to see. The Mirage Pollen, on the other hand, is pretty cool. I would have expected it to spread a little bit more and to be on more heroes, but sometimes you just notice it like enemy SFX has pollen on her and she attacks and your hero dodges it entirely and it's glorious. Also tried it in PvE. In Tower of Oblivion, cleared the tower with her, basically. Main damage dealer, of course, being my giant killer SFX. And this video is also coming up a little bit later. I thought first I will give you guys the Freya review or first look at it, and then later we will go into the tower with her and see how she performed there. Pretty nice video. I really liked the other video, actually, the tower video. But thought you guys wanted to see that first, so we will do it. Also, I was quite a bit surprised that they gave this last skill a 66% chance to inflict Mirage Pollen on another enemy without Mirage Pollen when an ally releases an active or basic skill. That's quite a high chance, actually. Quite nice. Considering that this isn't hindered by control immunity or something. So, really great. And I was also surprised that this damage effect poisons all enemies in Mirage Pollen is 400% of attack. I would have expected something a little bit smaller, but stacks up a bit, so quite nice. But now, without further ado, let's have a little look at her in PvP. Let's first have a look at the team I built with her. Basically, this was a very regular SFX burst team with like a Harp SFX, a lot of Snow Hearts on here. And in this slot I had another Rogan, a second Rogan. And I basically just took the Rogan out and put her in the team with the Snow Heart, as we can see, with speed attack at the moment, which is not great, but I ran out of dust. I really wanted speed HP on her. Right now she's lowest life, which is not great if you fight another SFX burst team. Really, this team is designed to have the Drake here as lowest life, but it's okay for now. And the idea of a team like this actually is get one hero down on turn 1 and spread LFA CC, here the Fear Abyssal Gaze, on as many enemies as you can. And if you fight something like a Panda team and they don't run energy, then the entire enemy team will be CC'd every time you kill an enemy. So you can take out one by one every turn and the team will eventually die. Sometimes though you run into the problem, and the problem is that the enemy runs like a Harp, Star Devourer Eos, or otherwise has a Star Devourer Eos gain energy, and she does an active and you have the sun over your head and it burns your heroes down every turn. And as your heroes are all running Snowheart, which is a nice artifact but doesn't provide the R, you get burned down. And this is countered a bit by Freya. For once we have the dodge, so our heroes don't get hit that often, which also includes not getting hit by like a Starwing Jara in the enemy team, so not the best chances to CC this team. And beyond that, we have DR, we have all damage reduce, all of the good stuff, which really helps us survive. So, to test this team, we could go against a fellow guildmate of mine. Pretty great Panda team, we have fought against it before. Maybe go against Daikoldator, that would be quite cool as well. So first go against PvP Collect. Daiku runs a CC team. Not sure how that works out, but we can try. Both pretty strong dudes, either way. I hope we can clear this Sherlock. But the burst potential on the single hero is of course a little bit lower. As with two roams, because we can't hit this Sherlock quite as often. Which is alright. We already have the damage reduction up, so quite a bit more tanky than we usually would be. This is the effect for the Mirage Pawn, this little flower under the feet of the heroes. And it's quite hard to notice when they actually dodge. There isn't really too much of an animation for that. But sometimes you see like a panda going to the Aspen and just hitting nothing. But as you can see, our heroes are mostly pretty healthy. We come to the next active here, which provides another shield. We already had a shield, pretty full actually. But it went up a little bit more, so that's pretty great. And yeah, with that we finish it. And our heroes are not only full life, but also have like half an overshield. Yeah. I mean, what more can I say? That's basically that is supreme. What does Daiku run at the moment? He has no real team. That's just for the challenge. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying actually. People are running those 6 Transcendence Hero teams to help other people out. Okay, I can't say it's annoying. I mean, it's nice from them to help other people. Is this a real team? I think this is a real team. It's Drake. Probably going to be a problem as she is lowest life, but let's try. See what we can do. Oh, it's actually Drake lowest life. Oh, then it's not that much of a problem. I think we are alright. Running a Laura here. Yeah, we have to see. And there we could see all the buffs popping up. Pretty nice. And yeah. Oh, that one hurt. That's one SFX gun. That wasn't the dodge from Freya, but the innate dodge of SFX. And yeah, we're slaughtering our way through. Basically, next round is guaranteed to end. Yeah. Pretty solid hit. Let's maybe fight some people from the clan. So, fighting fellow community member Ramen here. Let's see what his team can do. Also Panda team. But something similar to the team Iron last LEA season with the Star Alchemist homes, which is something I really like. I didn't quite get lucky with the potions there, which is an absolute death sentence for this team. But it's alright. Sometimes I still have the feeling, by the way, that those magic pollen vanish faster than the 4 or 6 hits that they usually should be able to take. But what you can basically see is with those the Star Devourer EOS, we usually would take a lot of damage, but with the extra damage reduction, those heroes now have like 40% damage reduction plus something from the frame plus something from the skin, so like maybe 60% damage reduction, and gain all damage reduction every time they attack. Every round they gain all damage reduction, and basically by turn 2 they are super tanky. So this was like the first team I tested. Pretty huge amount of damage reduction there. And oh, didn't leave this one open, it seems. Yeah, well, no. Just noticed that I already did Flame Shrine. So that's bad. But we can try a little more in PvP. Maybe. Yeah, I found another PvP enemy for once. CTV. Can fight him. Or can fight Karma. That would be fun as well. He has an 8 years effects. That's pretty dangerous. So. I hope that it's his normal team. Kind of hard to see. Oh, yeah, and he is lucky with the potions. My SFX is basically useless now. We will see if we can still win. Doesn't look too bad. Drake back to full life. SFX dodges. And with the Drake mark, this is done. So we could fight this team as well. Let's see if we can fight Karma. Does he have a real team? That's no real team. Ah, that's sad. But with this, I would like to end the first look on this hero. As I said, the next thing we are going to see is a little bit of PvE gameplay against Tower of Oblivion. Probably going to upload it tomorrow. And later in the week I will go over each mechanic separately and see how well it works, what components are relevant, and what you need to know basically to understand this hero in its entirety. Till then, guys, I wish you a great week, have fun with the new hero, and we'll see us in the next one.